Hi, everyone. Interval notation. Super, super duper easy. And plus, because you already know it. So here we go. There is a link, a definite link between inequality notation and interval notation. So when we have something simple, like x is greater than or equal to 6, for example, you know that any number that is 6 or greater can be an answer for this. Now, interval notation is a way to represent this on a number line. So if I want to make the link, I'm going to make a number line first with 6 as my number. I know it's a filled in circle, and I know it's going to the right because the arrow says so, okay? Now, I want to make the next jump to interval notation. Remember the rules. The rules are very simple. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to signs mean closed circles or filled in circles. And they mean brackets, okay? Greater than or less than signs means open circle, still with me, means parentheses. Okay? So now let's try to use this key to understanding how to move to interval notation. Now, with interval notation, kind of like inequality notation, I need a beginning and I need an end. Just two numbers, two things, two icons, whatever. And they have to be kind of sandwiched between brackets, parentheses, or any combination of the two. So let's take a look at the number line graph. What is the first number, or as I like to say, the leftist point, that is the beginning of the answer for this inequality? Oh, someone has an answer.
6.
Oh, 6, fantastic. Okay, so I've got 6 here. Now, based on the key, does anyone out there know what my little indication is going to be on this side? Dr. Fustel again.
Bracket.
Bracket, good, very good, thank you so much. Now, comma, okay? Some of you are actually putting another sign in here, like greater than, less than. No. We're going to have a starting point or the leftist point, comma, ending point or rightist point. So let's go take a look at our number line again. If I have my 6 as the leftist point, the arrow going this way is my rightist point. Well, what does a arrow mean? Dr. Fustel again.
Infinity.
It is an infinity, and because it's going to the right, and we have a number line here like 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, 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 it's positive infinity. Now, you don't have to write the plus sign, but we have to write the infinity sign, and with infinity signs, doesn't matter if it's a negative or a positive, it's got to be a parentheses, because infinity is an idea. It's a theory. It's a concept. You cannot ever attain infinity. And the parentheses means we can get infinitely close to something, but we will never actually be able to touch it. So, inequality notation, number line notation, interval notation. Let's do a couple more practice problems. Let's go. X is less than -2. Number line, -2. Open circle going to the left. The leftist point, the beginning, is negative infinity because the arrow is going to the left. Comma, -2, parentheses. Now, some of you a couple days ago were saying, well, -1. Well, -1's on this side, so that's totally wrong. -3. Well, true, -3 is an answer choice here, but I want to talk about numbers very quickly. There are an infinite amount of numbers in between -3 and -2. Because anytime you give me a number in between those numbers, I can give you another one. And we can go on with that process forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Okay? So we've got to represent it by the very last number that's outside of the barrier, because we can't just say, well, I'm going to put -2.000000001. Because I can always make another 1 on the end, or another 0 on the end, or another 2 on the end, or whatever. So I've got to represent it by the bracket or the barrier that's here with the parenthesis, because it's going to get infinitely close. This line is going to get infinitely close to -2, but it's never actually going to touch it, because the open circle says it can't. Because -2 is not a solution to this. Because -2 is not less than -2. That's silly. Okay, let's do 2 more practice problems, and we'll call it a day. Let me give you a tough one here. Let's go 0 less than x less than or equal to 10. Okay, keep in mind what's happening here. X is sandwiched in between 2 numbers, okay? There is going to be no infinity here. So remember what I like to say to you. I like to make your minds work this way. Let's make the jump naturally progress down to the number line, and then we can go to interval notation. I've got an open circle on 0. I've got a closed circle on 10. This is a conjunction. It's an and, okay? So it means everything in between. So now you know that there's no arrows going on either direction. So there's going to be no infinity signs because there's no arrow, okay? So again, interval notation is beginning to end, or leftist to rightist. Parentheses, 0, comma, 10, bracket. All right? Cool. Last one, actually. Let's go. X is less than or equal to -2, or X is greater than 7. Okay, now remember, this is a conjunction, this is a disjunction. And is connecting, ors are not. So you're going to have two separate lines here. Let's start with the first one. -2, closed circle, arrow going to the left. 7, open circle, going to the right. Everything in between is not a solution, but everything else is. So I have to represent that as such. Because it's a disjunction, there's two separate lines, we've got to represent two separate interval notations. Negative infinity on the left-hand side to -2 bracket, or. Okay, now in this case it's going to be both, but that's fine. Parentheses 7, comma, infinity, parentheses. Open circles, parentheses on infinities. Dr. Still, thank you so much.
Thank
Yay!
you. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.